Gary, you mentioned how important it would be to get back-to-back wins, and you had a decent unbeaten run early in the season of draws and wins, but putting a run of wins together is something that you haven't done yet in the league yet this season. That's probably the one thing that's held you back this season.
Yeah, I mean, what is a run of wins? 3, I suppose. 4 starts becoming a run, so 2 won't be. But if you get 2, then that's back-to-back wins, which is always handy because it does help you if you're bottom of the table, especially because those teams don't win 2 games on the trot. That's why they're down there, don't generally. So if you can, it does help you get towards that mid-table. And then when you start seeing that your next win takes you actually into mid-table, then it's something worth really going for.
You could speak quite a lot about demoralising teams with 2-goal leads and that sort of thing. But if you beat Orient, after what they went through last week as well, you could demoralise them. You could really land a blow, couldn't you, if you beat them?
Yeah, you can land a blow, but that'll be up to them to recover from that. They're trying to make it so that we don't land them a blow. They'll know that because there'll be quite a number of points, between us and them. Enough that they would have to win 2 games on the trot. We'd have to lose 2 games on the trot. So that's really where we need to push ahead to make sure that they're further behind us than they are now.
Yeah. Anything stand out from going to Orient in the past?
The things that stand out is that when they're going well, the crowd get behind them, and it's the whole crowd. It's not just a sort of like a group of singers. It's the whole crowd, and that's what you've got to be aware of. That they will get that sort of support if they're on the front foot and got their towels up. So we've got to make sure that we're doing that the other way.
You handled that very well at Leyton, didn't you? Because they've got a very loud crowd, but then Notts County showed how loud they can be when things are going well. So you've seen 2 sides of it there.
Yeah, no, exactly, and we always say how important the support is. That's why I'm saying if we get our away support down there, then and we get a result, then they will be a major part of that result.
Yeah. On that note, Gary, I wanted to ask you, 8 years ago this week, you came out with one of your most memorable lines about bouncing around the ground.
Yeah.
At Reading, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That really got everybody going, didn't it? And I think you got a result there that you needed.
Yeah, we did. Different club though, wasn't it?
Yeah. Different club, but the fans obviously got them rallied around.
They did, and it happens, and you can't plan these things. You mention things, and you can politely request. Sometimes people say about supporters that don't turn up, and moan about that. Where I've always been one, to be proud of the ones that do turn up. They're the ones that are supporting you. They're the ones that are there and paying their money and are there for their football club. And we have to praise them to the hill every time we can. But they will be a major factor in this game. They will be, definitely.
Yeah, just finally, Gary, I'd like to ask you about Billy Waters, because he's played in League One before, so when you signed him, you knew he had that Football League experience. But have you been pleasantly surprised by how he's stepped up from last season? Because he's 14 goals in a team that's been struggling at times. It's pretty impressive, isn't it?
It is impressive. Could have been 24. And we've got Billy a little bit more dangerous now. Even when he was playing, I know people were moaning when he went up front and scored, and then they said he shouldn't have played as a midfield player, but he wasn't really a midfield player. We were sort of playing him just behind the striker, and then he could do his bit, get his work rate up, and he still scored goals. He scored goals from that position. But now he's up front. Now we've got to make sure that he gets in those danger areas and just becomes an absolute nuisance to defenders. And he is that at the moment, and his work rate is phenomenal. So opposition teams have to concentrate on where he is all the time. But he's clever, he's quick, and he's in credit. So the good thing about all that is that he hasn't got to worry on the day that where's my next goal coming from, or my next dribble, or my next, he can go out and enjoy himself.
Yeah, do you think he's been the brightest one this season?
I think he's been one of the brightest ones, yeah, definitely. you wouldn't have thought so. The stick I give him most weeks, but he takes it well, and some's in jest and some serious, and he has to work out which ones are jest and which ones are serious. But he's done great, and I'm really pleased for him because he's a good player and a really good person.
Cheers, Gary.
No problem.